I'm happy to be welcoming in BYU legend John Beck. He's also the quarterback whisperer, and he's got a lot of things going on. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but he's joining us from his music room there at the compound there, right, John?
It's not me that's transitioning to a music career, just so everybody knows. This is my oldest son. My oldest son, he's amazing at music, loves it, and so this is his space. I'm just borrowing it for the interview.
Awesome. We need to get him up here to play for a pregame show, you know, when he gets his band together.
I know. I'm trying to get him to do the national anthem on his guitar for the San Clemente Tritons game, so I think that'd be awesome.
That would be
That
cool.
would be awesome. What's this time of year like for you? Does it get the competitive juices flowing now that we're getting closer and closer to college football?
I love football season. I love college football. I love that, you know, especially for my family as well. It's like once I finish up with my NFL guys, I spend that last week and a half with the college guys before they start camp. And then it's like come back home and it's just football every day because I got 3 kids playing tackle football right now. I help out at the high school as the quarterback coach, and I get to be around a bunch of former Cougars like Byron Rex, Matt Redden, Dennis Pitt is on the staff now. So that's a lot of fun. It's literally football in the mornings, football in the afternoons and evenings. It's talking to the college guys as they go through camp. I was just up at Dallas Cowboys camp in Oxnard yesterday with Dak. I'm communicating with my rookies. Like last night, I was texting Jaron Hall after his game. I mean, it's football all day long, and I love it.
We're going to talk to you about Jaron in just a second. Outside of the BYU bubble here with practice, no one knows Kedon Slovis better than you, with the exception of his parents. What buzz are you getting from Kedon from how camp's going?
So far, so good. You know, Kedon from day one has really enjoyed being at BYU. He's enjoyed his teammates. He's enjoyed the coaches. He's enjoyed the entire experience. But now that it's getting closer to fall camp, it's that you know that now it's like test time. Now, you know, everything matters. And we have cool communication during the week of just kind of some of the plays that are happening at practice, how his body's feeling. It's been a cool experience for me to have that with all these quarterbacks recently. But I'm so excited for Kedon because I know what he's capable of. I have an awesome opportunity to be with him on the field. I was able to coach him at all of his spots. There at his last time during USC, through his time at Pitt, and now here at BYU. So I feel like I'm very familiar with all these phases that he's had to go through, the ups, the downs, the injuries, the coaching changes, the transfers, the new team, the acquisition of new teammates, the growing and getting accustomed to them to build chemistry. I'm just excited for it for now to all happen. And I think it's also good that, hey, he's going to get 2 games to start the year before he really jumps into that Arkansas and Big 12 rest of the schedule.
How has he evolved? Because you mentioned you've seen him at all different levels throughout his career. And look, he's in all likelihood going to be the 3rd straight quarterback drafted into the NFL out of BYU. What has been his evolution and how has his game evolved heading into this year?
Well, I think for Kedon, he burst onto the scene as a freshman, and he did it at a huge university at USC. So everybody's aware of him. And then expectations just skyrocket. He's an NFL caliber player, 100%. And if things go well and he can stay healthy, he'll absolutely be drafted. And I'm sure he'll have the invite again to the Senior Bowl. But for me, the thing is every quarterback always has things to learn. Whether you jump out on the scene and it looks like you're amazing from the get-go, or you have some struggles in the beginning and it looks like, man, is this guy going to make it? No matter which guy you are, like the path always has things you have to learn from, and then it always has the unexpected, the injuries, the coaching changes, the people that you thought you were going to have all season long that now all of a sudden you're playing without them. No matter who you are, a seasoned vet or a rookie, those things impact your ability to perform. And so I've watched Kedon basically what I call, it's the roller coaster of quarterbacking. When you enter the roller coaster, it's not like you get to look at it and say, hey, you know what? I think I can do that. I can see that twist. I can see that turn. I'm stepping on this roller coaster. I can handle it. No, it's a doorway that says QB roller coaster. You do not get to see what it looks like, and you step on it. And then, man, whatever twist and turn happen, you're on it, and you're trying to hold on. I'm just so happy that Kedon, he's healthy. He enjoys the situation he's in. There's a positive vibe. And then he's bringing all that experience to this new group of guys that are going to gel together. Having a guy like that is going to come to the table with tons of game experience, tons of life experience. It's going to help all those guys around him. And then it's the excitement of the Big 12. I think as a fan, as a former player, like everybody in Cougar Nation is excited for this new journey, this new step into the Big 12.
John Beck is on BYU Sports Nation with us here on this Friday. We were all excited to watch Jaren Hall last night, got the second half, played the whole second half for the Vikings. As I was watching that game, I remember what you talked about when you visited with us about your first experience in the NFL. Everything was so fast, and it was like a whirlwind, and it seemed like that was the experience for Jaren last night.
You know, I think every player, you get out there. I remember watching the number ones, or not, yeah, we had the ones go, I think, in the first game, a series or two. But I remember like seeing Jacksonville and just being like, you know, man, when I look on paper, you know, I've played against guys 6'6", 295 pounds. I've played against guys this big, but man, for some reason, when they're dressed in NFL jerseys now, they just look like a little bit bigger. And I've played against a lot of guys that ran 4.40s. And I know there ain't anybody, you know, running much faster than that, but somehow they look a little faster. And then I remember you get that first completion, and mine was on a little keeper play. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to get into rhythm right here. But it is like these things that just, even though you've ran a concept before in college, you're now running that concept in the NFL. And I'm not saying it's a huge difference, but in that moment, it's like you're doing it again for the first time because it's happening now at the NFL level. I think that's why reps are so important for these young players. Like, you just got to get so many reps, because sometimes, I tell this to people all the time, sometimes the lesson that you learned in college, you learned the college version of it. And you have to relearn that lesson the NFL way, because the athleticism, because of the schemes, because of also the experience of the players. Like in college football, you do not play against guys that have played in 100+ games. In the NFL, when you're playing against ones, you are playing against guys that have over 100-something NFL starts with tons of experience. And that has an impact on things, and you have to learn throughout all that. So it was cool to see Jaren get his reps. I always know when I see young players play that first game, it's going to kind of be this little, there's going to be kind of ups and downs. I love when I see him find completions, because I say, okay, cool. Like, let's get in that rhythm. Let's kind of get that confidence going. And then inevitably, there's going to be a few plays that he may be a little off accuracy-wise. He may be running for his life a little bit. He may have gotten through a read a little too fast. And then they're going to go back on tape, and then they go, okay, I can experience this. I can learn from this. All right, cool. I'll be more ready for that next game.
Speaking of reps, I was pretty surprised with the lack of reps that Zach Wilson was able to get in the Hall of Fame game. Now, granted, that's an additional preseason, so maybe the plan was once the actual preseason games start, it would be a little bit more, more available to him. But by all accounts, that situation seems to be heading in the right direction. Zach seems to be working through, being the backup and learning and trying to gain that experience. That the other side of it, John, whether it was accurate or not, the perception was that Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, that there was just, they didn't get along. Again, I don't know if that's accurate or not, and there was always sort of maybe some animosity that way. It doesn't seem to be that between Aaron Rodgers and Zach. I think the way Aaron handles Zach is just as important as how Zach's handling the situation right now, too.
Yeah, I think the first thing you got to do is you got to take all the expectations that were there to be the number 2 pick of the draft and to be the guy that started since his rookie year, and you got to toss him out the window. And you just have to say, Zach is a third-year player in the NFL who's played in a number of starts. He has some experience, and now he's getting an opportunity to learn from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron and Zach connected years ago during Zach's rookie year, and they have stayed in contact throughout that entire time. And part of Aaron coming here, not here. I say that sometimes because I'm acting like we're talking like I'm with the Jets, but not with them anymore. Aaron's deal with coming to the Jets was also partly because he knew Zach was there. He knew what Zach needed. And he's like, I feel like it's a great opportunity for me. And I also feel like it's a good opportunity for me to help somebody that I believe in as I exit the NFL, right? Aaron knows he's only got so many years left. And a lot of veteran quarterbacks, you see that this competitive thing changes in them. Early on, they want to step on everybody's throat. All right. That's just the way they're wired. Like, they want to win, and they're not going to be the absolute best guy at all times out on the field or in the meeting room. Like, they're not concerned about prepping some young guy. Like, they are totally focused on competing and winning, and they're driven towards their goals. But then they start to go through this shift. And I think you see it with guys like in basketball, Kobe, LeBron, you start to hear about how much they talk about that thing with their teammates or bringing up a young guy, right? And they're wanting to share that knowledge. Like they don't want to exit the league having gathered all of this and not passed it on. And so I think Zach's in a cool situation because you have a Hall of Famer that's in that phase of his career where he's saying, I want to finish and I want to be able to know that I've passed some stuff on and I've helped a young guy that I believe in achieve his ability, like achieve his potential. And Zach's that guy. So Aaron has been amazing for him in sharing all that information. And Zach has always been a sponge. Since the day that, I met him and since he was at BYU, like the dude just tries to soak in everything he possibly can. And so it's a great situation because you have somebody wired like Zach and you have somebody with the experience of Aaron who's willing to share all of it. So I think it's a great situation. Zach will for sure play more in the upcoming preseason games. And like, who knows what's going to happen in the season? Who knows the type of success the Jets are going to have? I also want Zach to be able to, in one fashion or another, get some time during the regular season. Like if you look at guys that continue in the NFL and get to play a lot of years and in a lot of games, and you look at each season, they're finding a way to play in games, whether it's as the starter or the backup, they're playing in games. Like one of my early coaches said this, you want to be a better starting quarterback? Be the starting quarterback. All the backup reps you can get in practice, I know that they're still beneficial, but if you want to know exactly what it's like to be the starter in practice and in games, you got to be the starter.
John Beck's with us. We're going to ask you about why they do it here in a minute. But first, BYU and Utah are now back in the same conference starting next year in the Big 12, which means that big game will now have things on the line that were on the line when you played in that big game. Are you happy that that rivalry is coming back in that fashion? What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, look, I actually did an interview with Ben Criddle probably like a week ago, and that came up about Utah coming into the Big 12. And I said, I think it would be really cool to have that game back. I think that game's meaningful to the players, meaningful to the state. It's meaningful like just to have that type of feeling in a game somewhere on your schedule. We all play in rivalry games in high school. Well, then you want to go and have a rivalry game in college, right? It just feels that way. It feels right. And there is a huge tradition that goes on there. And so I made the comment of, I think it would be cool if Utah came to the Big 12. And I remember Ben was like, oh man, that's not how Cougar fans feel. We talked about it on air. I called him afterwards and I was like, hey, did I say something that like Cougar Nation doesn't really agree with? Like, are there a lot of fans? And he just like, it is tough for a lot of BYU fans because Utah goes to the Pac-12 and they're like, hey, we're in the Pac-12. We're high and mighty. You guys aren't in a conference. And I know a lot of BYU fans wanted Utah to maybe get kind of left out there. That being said, I think it's going to be so cool to have the addition of that rivalry in the Big 12. The BYU-Utah rivalry is a great rivalry. And the thing that's going to be cool for the Big 12 too is they've also added the rivalry that I grew up with, Arizona State.
Yeah.
Like, what a cool thing that this conference brings in these two rivalries that are going to be amazing. And who knows when that's going to land now? Who knows when that BYU-Utah game is going to hit? And who knows what's going to be on the line? You know, Utah right now has a great name. They've been to Rose Bowls, right? They've been successful. Like, they have a name that, like, everybody knows right now. And BYU, what a cool opportunity to step in and say, all right, now we're part of a game that not only is it the holy war between us and the state, but who knows what could be at stake in the Big 12 conference? What if this is a potential, you know, who goes to the conference championship game? Like, I just think that's awesome to have that in that conference now.
All right, John, as if being a husband and a father and a coach and a quarterback coach wasn't enough, you've added more to your plate. Tell us about why they do it.
Okay, so here's kind of how, like, the genesis of all of it. I've had a lot of people that while I'm watching BYU football games with them or after the game, they have a lot of questions, right? They want breakdowns. They want to know what's going on. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And as they learn the game, they're more intrigued. I have a good friend of mine that, as we were discussing things one time on a vacation, I just kind of said, you know, like, I love breaking down games. I love when I get to share that information. I love always trying to learn, and I love helping others learn. And so I did a few sample videos of, hey, if I did a site, this is what it would look like. And I sent those sample videos to a few of my good friends that I know are just huge BYU football fans. And my friend also sent it to some family members and friends that were not maybe, like, you know, super knowledgeable in football. They don't consider themselves football people, but they absolutely love BYU football. They love the games. They love what's going on. And all the feedback, especially from the people that may not be considered football people, was so cool to know that that's what's happening in the game. I had no idea that like that's what the quarterback is having to do. I had no idea the offensive line and the running backs were having all of that in protection. So it kind of enhances now their understanding of, whoa, that's really what's going on in the game. And for football people, right, now you kind of get this full picture, because even for me, when I'm watching the TV copy, sometimes you see the receivers, it's like they leave the field of vision, right? And you're trying to figure out, man, I didn't totally get a good picture on the shell of the coverage, but because of the blitz, I know they're probably here, but man, what are we getting on the back end? And so sometimes, I'll be honest, the tape that I want to see most of all is the all 22. It's the coach's tape, right? But not everybody gets an opportunity to see the game from that perspective and to have people talk through it. And I just feel like nowadays with content, and everybody's wanting content to either learn more, see more, hear more. And I thought, man, I'm kind of in a unique position just because of my relationship with BYU, the opportunities I've had to do things like this on, you know, on Sports Nation, on different radio shows like the Wise Guys, the podcast with them. I've been in a unique situation to be able to kind of have like connection with the people that follow BYU football. And I thought, man, if I'm connected with these people that love BYU football, I can share something with them that's going to give them a greater insight to the games, and they'll learn more about the game. And here, I'm not going to be somebody that's critical of players. And maybe there's some people that say, well, man, that's not going to make your site what it could be because we want to know who's to blame. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'll never do that. But for the people that want to know, hey, man, what are these guys really executing in every single play, and get a thrill for that is awesome that's what's happening. That's what this site's going to be for.
Why they do it, and now we know how he's going to do it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you guys should check out. Look, I tried to throw up like, I don't know, I think there's like 6 or 7 sample videos of, look, this is what it will look like each game. I did some on a drive. I think there's like a 20-minute video of a Baylor drive. Like, this is what a full drive will look like. I think there's like a back view of a shot play. There's a couple other talking through some schemes. There's a defensive one where I'm talking through, like, here's what the defense is trying to do. And then there's a section called On the Whiteboard where I get up, and really it's the immersive experience of if you were sitting in the meeting room of an offensive coach going through tape with you, or going through the whiteboard, breaking things down, installing a play and talking through the schematics and the concept read. It's basically giving the fans that. Now, it's taking you and putting you in an offensive meeting room, being instructed and broken down by like an offensive coach.
And where can they find that, John?
Just whytheydoit.com. If you go on there, there'll be like a link for I think it's called sample videos, and you just scroll down and there'll be like breakdowns and whiteboard. You just click on it and there's a little library. And I'm going to add some more. I'm going to take some of the games of these of our Cougars in the NFL. I'm going to take a couple of Jaren's plays, break them down, a couple of Zach's plays, and break them down. And I have to watch stuff for other collegiate teams as well. And if I see some of the schemes that I know BYU runs being executed by another collegiate team, I'm going to say, look, here's this team executing the same thing, and maybe here's the little nuance, the little tweak of how they're doing it, but it's the same structure, it's the same concept that we used of beating these coverages.
Well, John, we appreciate it. Good luck with Why They Do It. Appreciate you coming on and talking some BYU football. It's always great to catch up with you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. This got me excited for the season, man. I see Blaine in his white BYU shirt. It feels like, you know, you got the voices of the Cougars happening. It's football season. This is awesome.
Hey, John,
That's right.
You've had your hand on some huge, huge wins. Good luck with that project. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you.